What's up, team? My name is Tom. Another day, guys, another reaction. Today I'm gonna react to the disaster that Las Vegas want to forget. This the title of a video is intriguing me, so let's jump in and let's see what it revealed to us.
As the dawn rises above the Las Vegas skyline, Randy Howard, a guest at the MGM Grand Hotel, sleeps off the after effects of a night indulging in the city's infamous delights.
Man.
He is abruptly roused by a clamor outside his room and a chorus of sirens on the street. Unbeknownst to him and almost all other guests, a deadly fire is tearing through the hotel. As he comes to his senses, he realizes he's in a deadly trap. The smoke fills the corridors, and wherever he tries to escape, he bumps into a dead end. There's nothing he can do except pray for a miracle. The MGM Grand Fire came out of the blue on the morning of November 21st, 1980. It broke out at a serving station of a first-floor restaurant, the Deli, where it was empty and workers were arriving. An employee of an adjacent coffee house saw sparks and black smoke coming out from a keno board. However, as soon as she ran to warn her superiors, the wall burst into flames. Within minutes, the fire was out of control, and the lights in the deli went out. Hotel security called the firefighters at 7:16 a.m. 2 minutes later, the first engine and a rescue unit arrived from nearby Station 11. Following them were 3 more engines, 1 ladder, 1 hose wagon, and 1 rescue, with a total of 23 firefighters. When the first due unit entered the casino from the north entrance, they saw no signs of panic among guests, who were unaware of what was happening. Then, a few feet from...
Listen, guys, if you're sitting and playing slot machines, it doesn't matter. It's earthquake or it's fire. I'm not leaving till I'm losing all my money or I'm gaining back my losses.
On the casino's east side, a fireball emerged, followed by a thick black cloud from the deli's entrance. As the cloud advanced, firefighters and casino guests were forced to evacuate the building. In less than a minute, firefighters were out and running toward their truck. As one of them later described, by that time, the fire had already broken out through the main entrance on the west side, meaning the whole casino was alight. At 7:21 a.m., Engine 11 called for a second alarm, prompting the arrival of 4 more engines, a ladder, a battalion chief, and a rescue unit. Unfortunately, the blaze flared up so abruptly, they soon had to send a third alarm, calling for more help. The sounds of sirens woke hotel...
I wonder why did it happen, you know, of course there's a lot of reasons, you know. One of the reasons might be that the gangsters from rival casinos decided to, you know, to destroy MGM Grand. But, of course, as I said, there's a lot of options that might happen because why it happened.
Many thought the action was taking place in some of the surrounding buildings, as no one alerted them that the hotel was on fire.
Oh no,
it was only when the smoke started to emerge that they began to panic.
We didn't hear anybody yelling anything. There was no sound. There was no, aside from fire engines, which we figured were going somewhere else. And there were no sprinklers, you know, smoke. There was just nothing to alert anybody.
Man, this is so dumb, because like at least have like a sound alarm that could tell people that they need to leave the place, you know. This is because if the people are in the hotel and they are trapped and the fire's coming up, man, this is such a bad situation, man. So scary also.
No personnel in the hotel made any effort where we were to notify anybody. No one was knocking on the doors.
When I heard a lot of running in the hallway, and it just didn't sound normal to me, so I opened the door, and the hallway was just covered with smoke. And I wasn't dressed. I grabbed my coat. I just left. I ran and ran and ran, and I went nowhere.
Even though the fire raged within the casino and the first floor, little of it broke into the hotel tower. However, the smoke did. Large amounts of toxic fumes and smoke traveled through stairways, elevator shafts, seismic joints, and other openings in the construction. As a result, the hotel tower acted like a giant chimney, taking...
Man, imagine this. This is so unfortunate. Oh my gosh, and all the people that were there, they like like what to do, how to get out. Man, this is terrible. This is terrible. I would probably try to get to the roof. Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Smoke and fumes to the topmost floors. From the outside, smoke was seen coming out from the casino's north and west entrances and through the stairway of the hotel tower. Firefighters tried everything to extinguish it. Unfortunately, the lack of windows in the casino limited the number of attack positions for them. The 8 engines lined up hoses through whichever opening they could find, spraying tons of water on the raging fire. 2 ladder trucks were positioned on both sides of the north entrance for the rescue of guests who, in great numbers, rushed to their windows and balconies. They were reaching for fresh air as smoke started to fill hotel corridors and rooms. To attract the attention of rescuers, guests hung their sheets on the windows. Others tied bed sheets together to create makeshift ropes. Firefighters knew that in a moment of desperation, guests were likely to attempt reckless and adrenaline-fueled escapes. In fact, there had already been 1 fatality, further driving them to keep people calm. However, saving guests from the 26-story hotel was difficult, since ladder trucks could only reach the 9th floor.
Oh,
Therefore,
no.
rescue teams had to be sent inside. Recognizing the urgency of the situation, a police helicopter pilot who was hovering at the scene requested the dispatch center for all available helicopters to be sent to the site. By 8:30 a.m., the skies were alive, with 20 choppers rushing to the scene. The United States Air Force jumped in to help by dispatching large helicopters from the nearby Air Force Base. What followed was a dramatic operation of rescue and support. An estimated 300 people were airlifted to safety from the roof alone, demonstrating quick action and efficient coordination.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Like they were able to like help very quick. I mean, send the choppers in, send the firefighters in. But unfortunately, because of the nature of the fire, the way and the nature of the building, they were not able to reach them by foot, and they had to do it like that.
Coordination. The Air Force helicopters also performed daring rescues, extracting 12 people from the precarious perches of their balconies. The helicopters were also lifelines, transporting vital equipment to the scene. They delivered fresh supplies of self-contained breathing apparatus bottles, essential for those navigating the smoky conditions. Firefighters and their gear were airlifted to the hotel's roof, ensuring a continued on-site response. Inside the building, firefighters with breathing apparatus combed the entire hotel, looking for people needing help. With 2,100 rooms, it was a tough task.
Wow.
Apart from the airlift operation, they used ladders, ropes, and whatever was suitable to get the guests out. Even a construction worker working on a building expansion jumped in to help. He used his scaffolding platform to bring dozens of people down.
Wow, man. Another one, guys, another hero, there are heroes like Among Us, right? I have a video about that. You can check it out over here. So, about 9/11. And yeah, man, much respect to the guy.
Short fur coat on, ready to, had her one leg out the window, ready to jump out the window. I figured we had to get her first. We brought her down the scaffold first. And I went up 2 more times after that and got more people down, but that's when the smoke got to me and I had to go.
The smoke and toxic fumes got to a great number of guests. Many of those rescued suffered from breathing problems, and some were carried out unconscious. All available ambulances rushed to the MGM Hotel, where several aid stations were set up. Unfortunately, as firemen made their way to the upper floors, it became clear that the death toll would be high. Among the smoke and silence, they found bodies lying all over the place. The rapid spread of smoke.
Listen, this is so sad that you go on your vacation, a well-deserved vacation that you wanted to do a long time before you go. You spend some money and then you die, like literally die in a hotel because of the negligence. I think this is the right word of the hotel management. Man, this is so sad.
Smoke caught many guests in a death trap. Some became locked in smoke-filled stairwells when the doors automatically closed
Oh,
behind
no,
them in an
man.
ironic fire safety measure. Desperately trying to find a way out, they clawed on the doors. News accounts later mentioned the bloody handprints left on the walls. Guests who
Wow.
opened their windows to get fresh air ended up dying of smoke coming in from outside the building. And many
Oh.
victims suffocated in their sleep as the smoke-filled air conditioning system pumped deadly carbon
This is
monoxide
rough, man.
into their bedrooms. At 10
I would never thought that the smoke can kill people. So now I know that it can, and it's very dangerous. Not only fire is dangerous, but also smoke.
a.m., rescue teams called upon a priest to the upper floors to administer the last rites to victims.
There were several rather tender scenes. One particularly I remember was the waiter had just delivered breakfast and he was there beside his tray. And
It's so
one
sad, man.
wife was with her husband with their arms intertwined. It was very sad.
In the meantime, down in the casino, firefighters successfully fought the inferno. Within 75 minutes, the main fire was under control. However, it took them another 4.5 hours to completely extinguish it. Finally, at 1 p.m., the last lines were pulled out of the casino. The search for victims and their removal from the building lasted until 9 p.m. Ultimately, rescuers recovered 85 dead bodies, 78 guests, and 7 hotel employees. In addition, there were 627 injured,
Wow.
588 guests, 25 employees, and 14
Just imagine the amount of money that they have to pay in compensations. The hotel, that's gonna be huge amount of money.
firefighters. Of the total deaths, most died from smoke inhalation and carbon monoxide poisoning.
Wow.
The severity of the disaster attracted the attention of the entire nation, but more importantly, it aroused anger in people who demanded answers. The public and experts were eager to find out how the blaze even started. Why did it spread so fast? Was it possible that one of the best hotels in Las
Wow.
Vegas had
Oh
no
my God.
firefighting system to cut it at its roots? Could employees have warned guests that the fire had broken out and given them enough time to escape? Investigators were determined to find answers to these questions. Their findings would reveal the dark side of the Las Vegas glamour. The investigation into the causes began the same day, as soon as the fire was suppressed on the first floor. Witness statements clearly stated that it came from the deli, so that is where the investigators looked for clues. They revealed that the fire started from an electrical fault in a wall-mounted receptacle. But what was the underlying cause? Even though more than $120 million
I'm just curious, how did they found out this, as everything was burned, you know? Yeah.
was spent on construction, it turned out that its owners cut corners when building the facility. Namely, a refrigerated pastry display case was added to the hotel restaurant after it first opened. This cooler was linked to an external cooling unit via copper pipes that ran through a wall soffit. Because of the cooler's vibrations, the copper pipes kept rubbing against electric pipes, causing
Man.
damage over time. In addition, poor installation also resulted in sharp edges, which eventually caused the
Oh my gosh, like this is such a small detail that could cause such a big damage. Man, this always shows that everything, even the smallest thing, has knowledge behind it, and you need to be very careful. Man, this is so bizarre, man. I would never thought about that. Wow.
electrical wire's insulation to break. The now bare electrical cables would glow red hot and begin arcing. On the morning of the disaster, the fire smoldered for hours until it finally broke out. The blaze spread quickly because of the casino's highly flammable furnishings and interior finishes. Gambling equipment, mirrored plastic ceilings, and furniture fueled the flames and created the toxic smoke. Once the fire engulfed the casino, it caused the suspended ceiling to fall, revealing unprotected vertical openings that allowed the fumes to rise through the hotel tower. Even so, the disaster could have been avoided if hotel owners had installed sprinklers and a working fire alarm system. When the MGM Grand Hotel was built in the late 1960s, it followed the fire codes that required sprinklers only in designated areas. The deli where the fire began was originally occupied 24 hours a day and did not have a sprinkler system because employees could spot any fire immediately. Eventually, the decision was made to close the restaurant overnight, but no sprinklers were added. When the codes were updated in 1978, the hotel was not required to upgrade their systems either. There was a fire alarm system, but it was outdated and disabled by the fire before it could be activated. 8 years before the disaster, in 1972, a suggestion was made by the Clark County Fire Department to install the fire system. But the owners rejected the proposal due to the cost. They refused to pay the price of $192,000, or 0.16% of the entire project investment.
Listen, guys, this is like always like that. This is like life lesson. You know, in Latvian language, there's a saying: "The greedy pays twice." Mouse almost flew away. The greedy guy pays twice, right? So imagine if he would spend those 192,000 on the fire security. He won't have to like pay all the compensations, all the repairs, or buy new furniture. Man, I bet you guys that the casino spent a lot of money after this event that occurred.
We went ahead and made recommendations, whether it be verbal with those architects sitting with us at the table or in writing.
Why do you suppose the hotel didn't change?
I have no idea.
The public was furious with this revelation, but the hotel management simply denied that any such proposal was ever made.
Why wasn't this done?
I never heard of his request.
Since fire protection systems...
It wasn't me. Guys, it was not me. I cannot say nothing more. Just, I didn't know about it. Please. This is the competent manager's response, you know.
Systems were only required for new buildings in Las Vegas. MGM management didn't have to comply. In response to the tragedy, the governor of Nevada set up a special fire safety commission. In 1981, the state passed a law requiring existing hotels, motels, office buildings, and apartments over 55 feet tall to install fire sprinkler systems within 3 years. Hotels and other public assembly buildings would now be required to have voice communication evacuation systems, smoke detectors in all sleeping rooms, and automatic shutoffs on HVAC systems to prevent the spread of smoke during a fire. As a result, Nevada became a leader in fire safety regulations. The MGM Grand Hotel spent $50 million to repair the damage caused by the fire. When it reopened in July 1981, it featured the state-of-the-art computer-controlled fire prevention system, monitoring 1,300 locations throughout the hotel. Additionally, MGM Grand Hotel management also faced more than 1,350 lawsuits, seeking more than $2 billion. Along with 80 manufacturers and suppliers, MGM ultimately settled for a total of $223 million in damages. But they never declared any sort of negligence. There were no criminal...
If they would pay this 192,000, everything that happened could be avoided, you know. Man,
prosecutions of those responsible for enforcing building codes, the hotel management, and those who built it. After reopening, the show went on. The memory of the Las Vegas Inferno lies only in the memories of those who survived it.